As you just heard, bus safety is very important. It's just as critical to know what to do if there's a fire in your house. As Zarifa Akbari reports, following some common sense rules can save lives.
A smoky house and a short time to get out before someone is seriously injured. That's the situation anybody can face when there's a house fire. This fire is not real. It is a simulation to teach students about fire safety. And the big question is this: what should you do if there's a house on fire? That's the purpose of the St. Barnabas Fire Safety House, which helped to kick off Safety Town Career Awareness Week at Washington Park School. The program teaches third graders what to do during a house fire. John Soul, the school safety officer, helped to coordinate the event.
I think they're getting some very important information about what not to do as far as going back in the house to save a pet or another family member. Give any information you can to the firemen that come to the house, and just how to react, hopefully as calm as possible.
Students get a tour through this trailer, which is a mini simulation of a house. The guide is Bill Ilge, who is a 40-year fire department veteran. He offered students practical and common sense advice.
None of this stuff belongs anywhere near where you're cooking. If you got a pothole and you dropped it, it could catch on fire. Spray can, depending on what's in them. If they get hot, they can explode, and if you got a big fireball in the kitchen. Paper towels can fall over and catch on fire. They belong up here in the rack or possibly on the other side.
Lieutenant Brian Fusco of Totowa's Volunteer Company Number 1 reminds everybody to get out of your house if there's a fire. Don't run around looking for valuables. Fusco says a common cause of fires is children playing with matches, but that's not all.
One of the biggest causes of fires actually is candles. Candles, stoves, things like that. That these things go on, they get left unattended, and unfortunately, they start fires.
And then there's a main focus of Safety Week, the students. We checked in with the third graders a week after the fire safety house rolled through Washington Park School. We asked them what they learned.
I saw this small room that they had inside the firehouse, and it had a small fireplace without a cover on it. And they were telling us that you shouldn't, if it's not covered, then it's very dangerous to stay near the fireplace.
If you're trapped in a two-story building, have a pillowcase or something, so you hang it off the window and wave it so they can know you're up there.
We learned if there's a fire, you should go outside of your house and find like a place to do a meeting, and then you should talk about if there's going to be a fire, and if there's not a fire, you should plan it and tell your family.
Inside the firehouse, we saw different types of rooms, and we went in each of them. And he told us not to play with matches, and it's very dangerous too, because you might get really, really hurt, really burned.
I learned that if you can't get to open a window on a two-story building or more, you can get a chair and break the window, and then you just take a coat or a jacket or a blanket, you lay it down, or you just wave it and you yell help, and then the firefighters will know that where you are.
If you have too many wires inside one input, you got to take them out, because then it might burn you or shock you or start a fire.
You should not go near a fire when it's opened or there's not a cover over the fire, because you might get really burned.
I learned that if there's a fire, always stay on the ground. Never walk out of a building. Then you can't breathe because the smoke rises.
It's obvious that the students have learned their fire safety lesson. It's a learning experience that hopefully they will never have to use. But if there's ever a need, the information they have learned from the firehouse could save a life. Zarifa Akbari, TBN.